Smokers who light up at the Norfolk and Norwich hospital can expect a tap on the shoulder between now and Christmas.
Members of staff and volunteers will be patrolling the grounds for 3 months, reminding people that smoking is banned on the whole site. Kate Prout has this report.
Wandering around the grounds of the Norfolk and Norwich hospital, the message is quite clear. But that doesn't stop many visitors, staff and even patients having a quick ciggy.
2 men, full time, have to clean those up every day, and he has a big bucket like that every day full of cigarette ends.
Dawn Collins is the Assistant Director of Nursing and one of those out on patrol.
Staff that work in offices near this building, the smoke is going through the windows and they're working in that environment, and we want to protect the well-being of our staff and other patients.
I mean, some people might say those who come to hospital often are distressed for various reasons, and denying them the right to smoke is denying their human rights.
I hear what you're saying, but as a trust we're not saying you can't smoke. What we're saying is you can't smoke on this site.
The Trust spends £50,000 a year clearing up cigarette butts and replanting where smokers have trodden down plants and bushes. The NHS say 120,000 people die every year in the UK from smoking-related illnesses. Therefore, they're not able to advocate the practice on their premises. But some pro-smoking groups say there needs to be more flexibility.
Hospitals are extremely stressful places, not just for patients, but also for staff and even for visitors. And I think a caring profession, such as the medical profession, should take that into account and allow people to have smoking areas on hospital grounds.
Those caught having a crafty cigarette will be gently but firmly reprimanded and given a leaflet on how to give up smoking. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Norwich.
Essex University is increasing security patrols after 2 sexual assaults within 48 hours. A 25-year-old woman has told police she was attacked in the Students' Union by a group of men on Saturday night. Last Thursday, an 18-year-old woman was assaulted after leaving a campus nightclub. This afternoon, police arrested a 22-year-old local man.
An appeal by 2 men convicted of the infamous Rettendon murders in Essex looks set to be turned down. Jack Worms and Michael Steele were jailed for life in 1998 for the murder of 3 drug dealers near Chelmsford. They've been fighting to prove their innocence, but the Criminal Cases Review Commission says it isn't planning to refer the case to the Court of Appeal.
Unemployment in East Anglia rose by 2% between June and August. Figures out today show 203,000 people are out of work in the region. That's 6.8% of the workforce. Nationally, unemployment fell by 20,000 to 2.45 million, the lowest so far this year.
Well, I think the figures for East Anglia just underline to me the scale of the challenge we face over the next few years. You know, we have got to rebuild long-term confidence in the economy so that businesses are able to invest and grow and develop, and international investors see this as a good place to come.
100 soldiers based in Colchester are flying out to Afghanistan this evening for a 6-month tour of the Helmand province.
The men and women from 2nd Battalion, the Parachute Regiment, are based at Merville Barracks. Ellie Price reports.
Swanwick, Whitehead, Horton.
All present and correct. The soldiers of 2 Para are packed up and ready to leave for Helmand province. It's the battalion's 2nd tour of the area, and the soldiers say it helps to know what to expect.
To be honest with you, I've been out before, so I sort of know what I'm expecting, so it's not really that much of a surprise to me. But still obviously apprehensive. The build-up's really, it builds up a lot of anxiety. It's actually worse than being out there, if I'm honest.
This time I've got a family and that to leave behind, a little baby. That's the hardest thing, and the fiancé, so I didn't have none of that last time, so just leaving that behind.
The battalion was last in Helmand in 2008, losing 9 soldiers. For this 6-month tour, 2 Para's role will change slightly, and they'll be involved in training up Afghan forces.
We're going to teach the ANP and ANA, which is the Afghan National Army and the Afghan National Police. And we're sort of like 50-50 in with them, you know, to try and bring on their skills and just progress them so we can, you know, leave their country in a good state, you know, where they can sort of police it for themselves.
We've been working with a lot of people, actors, stuff like that, doing a bit of, because obviously we're doing a bit of embedded partnering, so working with actors and stuff sort of gets you prepared, but nothing really will prepare you until we actually get out there. We really want to win over the locals, because we know now the way to win this war is winning over the locals.
And as they load their bags onto the transit lorry, they know they already have the hearts and minds of their loved ones back home. Ellie Price, Anglia News, Colchester.
A series of 50p coins designed by members of the public for the 2012 Olympics was officially released today, and they include one by a man from Norfolk. Bruce Rushin from Horsted created a sailing-inspired design for the Royal Mint competition. It's one of 29 chosen from 30,000 entries to represent the Olympic and Paralympic sports in the 2012 Games.
I love watching sailing, but taking part has been a constant disaster whenever I've tried it. So, no, the inspiration really came from the successes of Ben Ainslie in the previous Olympics.
A decision that could force BAA to sell off Stansted Airport has been reinstated. The airport's owner has successfully appealed a competition commission ruling that it must sell the Essex airport along with Gatwick in either Glasgow or Edinburgh. Today, the Court of Appeal ruled the original decision should stand.